Okay, so a bit of a different one today. We're going to take a look at how to automatically transcribe an audio, or it would work for video as well, but the setup might be slightly different, so we'll just focus on audio for now. Automatically transcribe it and send it to OpenAI or Chat GPT to analyze the audio or the transcribed audio and give you a summary and advice and opinions, whatever it is that you've set it to do. So in this example, these are sales calls that I've set up. So we're going to upload sales calls from a team member. It's going to be transcribed, and then OpenAI is going to review it, and there's some prompts that we've set to analyze the sales call and where we might have missed the sale and give us some feedback on it. I'll go through all the details on how you get that to work and what you need to do specifically with the prompts and all that as we go. But just before we start, it's a lot of the stuff that I do is based on like very extremely low cost or free ways of running automation. There are some costs attached to this, not a lot, but there are some costs. So the first thing that I think is worth mentioning is transcribing software. I'm using Scribe here. Scribe, there's a cost associated with it. You get so many minutes. You can see down in the bottom left hand corner. Here they've got an hour and 25 minutes left. Now Scribe is probably one of the more expensive ones that I've seen, but I got it working with this, so just for the sake of this video I'm just showing it you here. There's lots of other ones that you can use. As long as they link to Zapier, it will work. A note on that though, I did try and use Descript, as that's something that I've used before and I think it works quite well, but I did run into an issue from sending the audio file to it. It would pick up and create a project with the audio file name, such as we got here, but then there was no actual audio file being sent and transcribed. I spoke to Zapier, I spoke to Descript. They said it was a Zapier issue. I spoke to Zapier and they said no, it's a Descript issue, and we've actually raised a complaint with them, or a log, or whatever you want to call it, a few times, and they've done nothing about it. So that one I didn't get working. That's not to say you can't, but I didn't get it working, and you might want to use a completely different transcribing software than what I'm using. As long as it links with Zapier, you'll be fine and you'll get the general idea of how to set it up, but it's just to know that it does come with a cost, so pick one that works for you. The other thing that you will need is you'll need an OpenAI account, and in here you will need to add credit. I've run a couple of tests with different versions of ChatGPT. As you can see down here, I've got 3.5 and I got 4. You can see the difference in cost. It was costing me a roughly, it says a cent, so a penny for me, a penny a time to send an audio recording and get it back, and it was costing 8 or 9p for ChatGPT 4, and the quality and the summary, I didn't really see any difference. I thought it was, obviously the wording was slightly different, and the wording will be different if you use the same recording in ChatGPT 3.5 two times. It'll give you a slightly different wordage, but in terms of the feedback, 3.5 was just as good as the 4 for me, and it didn't really change much. With ChatGPT 4, there's lots of extras you can get from it that aren't to do with sort of the quality of like the words that you might get back by putting something like this in here. So it's definitely worth to have a look at, but for the sake of this task, 3.5 is fine. So get some transcribing software. I use Scribe. You might find it a little bit expensive, but you know, have a look for yourself. That's up to you. To add a into OpenAI, just get yourself an OpenAI login, and then down to billing, you can add credits here, or you can enable auto recharge, and you can set a limit so it only charges you so much a month. I have not got auto recharge at the moment. I just put a bit of balance in, and I've gone with that. So that is how you would do that, and then the rest of it will come back in a bit, and I'll show you how to get it all connected up and that, but I just wanted to go through that at the start with you, because if you're looking at a completely free way of getting ChatGPT to, or OpenAI to, analyze your audio, this is not it. This is going to cost you not a lot, but it costs you something. Okay, so first thing we want, I'm using Google Drive. You can use any system that you can drop files into and connect to Zapier. I just use Google Drive because I think it's nice and easy. So I have everything set up already for ease of showing you. And basically what we have is a new file. The trigger is new file in a folder in Google Drive. So this is my folder. You can see some audios in here. You can just upload some as and when you go. So just find the folder. I've just put in, you can usually just find your folder in your Google Drive. What I have here is the folder key. So if you go to share the folder, sorry, I don't need to do that, actually, it's here already. This is the folder key right there. So if you wanted to just put that in, you can go to custom and you can just input the folder key right there, or you can just find it in your Google Drive. I just find sometimes clicking through loads of folders in Google Drive can take some time, and I can just get that key and put it in a couple of seconds. Obviously connect your account. I pulled through a test, so it's found that we've got some files in there to pull through and send to Scribe. So ideally have an audio file that you want to test with this and put it in there, so you can run the test, and then connect up your Scribe or your whatever transcribing software you're using, and we want to create a new transcription. Whatever software you're using, they'll have something similar if it connects with Zapier, because that's pretty much all the software does. So if it doesn't have that, there's not much of a task that it's actually going to be completing for you. And then you need to give it a name. So as you can see in here, it's going to call it something, and then pick the media. I'm using Google Drive, so the one that you would want for this is file exists but not shown. If you're using different file storage, there'll be something similar that you can use. Obviously I can't tell you exactly what that is without knowing what system you're using, but Google Drive is that one. English is what we want. We've assigned it to a certain folder. We're using automatic transcription. Use vocabulary is just set to yes. I haven't set any actual vocabulary or anything in there, so that's what we've got at the moment, and then you can run a test. Okay, once you've got that set up, it's nice and simple. We're going to set up the audio to send it to Chat GPT and then email us the audio feedback. So this time we've got a trigger from Scribe, and the trigger is that we've got a new transcription in this folder, and the export format we want is Word docx. Run your test. It'll pick up the one that we've got in here, and then upload. This is a little bit of a strange way of doing it, but I found it was the best way. There is a way of getting that file and sending it to ChatGPT, but it was, when I ran tests, it was a little bit hit and miss on whether it could read the file, and it ran into, sometimes it did it, sometimes it ran into errors. It found it tough, so I found a little bit of there's a couple extra steps just to make sure that it works every time, and so far this has been good for me. So we're going to upload a file. We're just going to put it into the same folder. Sorry, we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to put it, we want the key as I showed you before, so there'll be a folder where all these transcribes go. The file that we want, again, so we've got exported file here, similar to the last step where we had file exists but not shown, so the same. Convert to document, I want it to convert it to a Google document if possible, and then we'll just call it file name, so I've just chosen the name of here, and then this is quite important, you need to put whatever the file name is, just type .docx on the end to make sure that it notices, so it reads the file properly. A problem that I had when I did this before was it was struggling to read the file and open the file. Sometimes it was saving as a zip file. ChatGPT couldn't open that and read it, and it caused some problems. So whatever you call the file, just put .docx on the end. Exporting the text from that file to use later on in the Zaps. This is a little bit more complicated the first time you do it, but it's not really once you get your head around it, because Zapier basically does all the heavy lifting for you. So what we're going to do, I've got everything set up here already, but I'm going to show you how we get to this point. So if we add a step in here and we go to Google Drive, again, whatever file storage you're using. So what we're going to do here is custom action. So we're going to create this, we're going to go start simple. I'm going to type export Google Doc to text, or whatever system you're using for your file storage, as I've said. It's going to bring you up something that looks like this. So exports a Google Workspace document to the requested MIME type and returns export byte content. Probably just sounds like a load of crap. That's what we want. Just click build. Preview it. This is what it should look like. Just click use. And everything should be in there for you, but I will show you what it should look like exactly when it's in the Zap as well. So you just click save and publish. I'm not going to do that because I've already got a version of it in here, so I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Okay, so this is what it will look like when it's in here. So what we want to do on the URL bit is you just want to get the ID that is in between here. And just get the ID, it's right at the top of the list from your Google Drive folder, and put it into there. And just make sure it says all this. So it's got get here, that's MIME type text plain, and that's it. Literally nothing else. I know that seems, if you're used to using Zapier, might not be something that you've done before, but it does all the heavy lifting for you. You basically tell it what you want. It's a great piece of AI, and it really does open up the possibilities of what you can do with your Zaps, because you're not just restricted to what the apps allow you to do anymore. Right, so we'll just continue. We're going to test. It's going to pull through the information for us, and as you can see here, we've now got all the text from the transcription. Whereas before we had a document, so it's a little bit difficult to use that in any meaningful way. We now actually have the text that in a field that we can use later on. If you're used to Zapier, you'll understand why that's useful. So what we want to do is conversion in Chat GPT. Okay, so log into your OpenAI Chat GPT account, and we want to go for conversation, not conversion, sorry. The action that we want to take now is, I've got it on Chat GPT 4 Turbo at the moment because I was testing this, but as I said, 3.5 is absolutely fine to use. It's a lot cheaper and it's been working really well for me, so you can just use that. There is one step that you will need to take here. So when you're logging into your account, it won't just be a login, it will ask you for an API key. So if you come to platform.openai.com, not ChatGPT, we want to be coming here, because you can get an API key from ChatGPT, but that doesn't work. You need it from here. So click to API keys, create new secret key, call it whatever you want, create secret key, and it gives you the API key, and that's it, done. And then you'll see what I mean. I can't do it because I've already logged in, but when you connect your account up, it will come up with a separate window and it asks for that key. You put it in, it connects it up, nice and easy. So the user message we've got here is I've given it some prompts, really simple prompts. This is just obviously run a test. This can be, the more specific you can be here, the better. So this is for a sales call. So we could ask it when was the prospect, when did they show buying signals? What did they say that was a buying signal? How could we have dealt with that buying signal better? How could we build rapport with this person better? You know, what could we have done to engage the person more in a conversation? Where did we ask good open questions? Where did we ask closed questions? There's the possibilities are endless, and it depends what the call or the audio is that you're trying to review. You know, it could be any, if it's a meeting that you're trying to get a summary for, you've got to just basically, you've got to prompt it and be as specific as possible. If you can tell the chat, you can tell OpenAI what it was about as well. Give it some context to the call, what it was supposed to be about, what you were supposed to achieve. The more the better, basically, is what you want. So just make sure you prompt it with everything you can, and this will probably be a running test for you. You'll probably put something in, you'll get some good stuff out, you'll think maybe we should ask this, maybe we should ask that, something that you'll probably change quite a bit, but just be as specific as you can. And then what we want to put just below it is, if we go to section 3 here and we go to response body, as you can see, that's all the text that we've transcribed, and it's just going to put it below. So we're just saying, can you just review this text, this is the context, this is what we want out of it, and that's it. Choose your model. Like I say, 3.5 is fine for me. Everything else I've just left the same. I did have to change this max tokens. I just put it really, I was on 4 at the time, so I did to 8192. but I think it was initially set to like 10 or something, and that was how many tokens it would use to generate the output. So I've just changed that to really high to make sure that it goes through, because I did one and then it wouldn't do any more, and it was because of this. So if you do like a test and then you drop a file in and it doesn't work, come and check this max tokens and put it up to the maximum that you can for the system that you're using, and then continue. So run a test. So as you can see here, this is our user message, and then it should spit out the message that we want, and I'll show you in here because I can't find it in that huge bit of text. So basically this is what we want here. So conversation from Chat GPT. Hold on, it's going to make me run the test. Okay, so we've run the test, and I'll see if I can find it in here now. That's why it wasn't there before. Yeah, so it's give us the information here. When we come into to send the email, this is the way that I've got it set up. You could have it set up in a different way to send you the information. I've got it to send an automatic email to myself or to whoever it might be that you want to send it to, with the reply, with the information. You could do this to add it to a document, or you could do it to add it to a spreadsheet, or you could do whatever you wanted. You know, I've just got it to send me the information. So what we want is the reply. Not that. Which is here. So you can see the sales call went well overall, Emma analysis, blah, blah, blah. It's giving you the full reply, and it sends it through via email. So when we click continue and we get to the end of it, it should send up a summary of the sales call like this. It's got all the individual prompts that I've asked it for, so improvements from a customer's perspective, reasons for losing the sale, things we did well, areas for improvement overall, and I asked it for 4 points in each area, and it's given us those as well. So as I said, you can use this for any sort of audio file. It doesn't have to be a sales call. It just so happened that I had a sales call to put in, so that's what I tested it with. You could use it for any type of meeting, or any type of audio call, or anything that you would like to analyze, and it takes a matter of seconds, really. You don't have to wait very long. You just chuck an audio file into your Google Drive folder, and within a few seconds it's transcribed it, sent it through to OpenAI, and then sent you a full report on the sales call without having to really lift a finger. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment box, and I'll try and do some more stuff like this moving forward if it's something that you like. Cheers, bye.